All right, here's some factoring by example or by grouping examples. So let's just kind of take a look at number 2 first. I would group these two together. That would be my first step, is to take these two and group them together. Now, what's the common factor between 12 and 21? All right, 3. That sounds about right. Now, between p squared and p cubed. P squared. So now, what's 12 divided by 3? 4. And I forgot to put the equal sign there. P squared divided by, or p cubed divided by p squared. Just plain old p. And then 21 divided by 3? 7. So I would put minus 7 because we were minus that term. P squared into p squared, that's gone. Now, 28 and 49, here's a really good way of kind of looking at this. You have 4p minus 7 here. Chances are we want to make this into 4p minus 7. If I took 28, divided it by 4, what would I get? 7. If I took 49, divide that by 7, I'd get another 7. So if I looked at these last two terms, or the two terms in the binomial here, that's what I want to get out of this. And by doing just a little bit of division, if you're stuck and you don't know what the common factor is going to be, divide by that guy, and then you can find your common factor. So I know 7 is coming out. I have a p here. Do I have any p here? No. So what's 28 divided by 7? 4. And nothing with the p. 49 divided by 7? 7. Now, I look at these two binomials. Are those two binomials common binomials? Yeah. All right, so since they're common, any cans today? Bring in cans.
All next week, and then money counts too.
And you get a veto party for first.
Peanuts party for first, ice cream party for second, donuts for third. And it's going on all next week, so you guys still have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Do it.
If we win first place, can we get third place? Podcast for the third place.
What's the third place? You might have to switch with the first or third place.
Why
Yeah.
was third place?
If your entire class would rather have donuts.
No, I want donuts. We're not gonna win.
I'm sorry. Come on, guys. You got it.
Do it.
How much is money? How much is it like a dollar?
I have no idea. All right, so once we have that common binomial factor, we'll take that out, and we'll put that out first, and then these are the remaining terms. Does that one make sense? We're going to do some more. What was that? How I got 3p squared plus 7? All right, I divided this. So basically what I did was I took the common binomial and put it out front. This is what's left over right here, the 3p squared. That 3p squared I'm going to put in the second binomial. So in the second part, I took out the 4p minus 7, and that's going to be in the first part. What's left over is a positive 7, so I put the positive 7 in the second term. So that's where they come from. Now, yes?
For like number 2, like the common factor was 3, but how do you know it's like p squared?
If you have p cubed and you have p squared, what's the rule that when you have variables of powers, which power gets taken out? The biggest or the smallest? Smallest power. So that's why I take out the p squared. Now, number 3, I want to make sure that you understand what happens when there's a negative sign here. Now, for number 3, I'm still going to use the first 2 terms and the second 2 terms. 12x cubed plus 2x squared. But here's what I'm going to do that's a little bit different. I'm going to say plus, and I'm going to put negative 30x minus 5. And so when there's a negative here, just put it in the negative term in here, and make sure you have the 2 groups added together. So that's the biggest trick that you're going to have when you have your negative groups, or a negative value is your third value here. Now I have a 12 and a 2. What's the common factor between 12 and 2? 2. I have x cubed and x squared. What's the smallest power? X squared. So it's going to be 2x squared. And now I have to figure out what should be left in this binomial. What's 12 divided by 2? 6. X cubed divided by x squared is x. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. What's x squared divided by x squared? 1. So I need to get a 6x plus 1 in this next term. Now, is this adding or subtracting? Adding. You see how this is subtracting right here? What do you think I'm going to... Do you think what I'm going to factor out is going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
It's going to end up being negative. And you can also see that because there's a negative there and a negative there. Now sometimes there's only going to be one negative. But since if you need it to add those terms, you're going to have to factor out a negative number because it'll change a negative into a positive. What's the common factor between 30 and 5? 5. And we want to take out a negative 5, so I'm just going to put negative 5. And then I'm going to say, all right, what's left? What's 30 divided by 5? 6. And I couldn't do anything with the x, so it's x. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1, positive 1. Do you have the common binomial? Yes. So I get my 6x plus 1. And I put in what's left over. From the first term, or from the first product here, I have a 2x squared. From the second one, what am I going to use? That negative 5. Every single one of these are done the same way. Every single one of them are done the same way. So, go ahead and keep on working.